On a quiet Friday night in Los Angeles, September 12, 1997, history was made, not the good kind. This was the night of the Dunbar Armored Robbery, when thieves walked away with $18.9 million. At the time, it was the largest cash heist in U.S. history. No sirens, no shootouts, just a perfectly planned, silent operation. The robbers had keys, inside knowledge, and nerves of steel. They knew the layout, the cameras, the guards' schedules. They walked in like they owned the place, and for a few hours they did. The Dunbar facility, supposedly a fortress, was cracked open by men who'd done their homework. Imagine moving nearly $19 million in cash, by hand, into a U-Haul. They overpowered guards as they arrived, tying them up and worked through the night. No movie-style super thieves here, just regular guys, most with day jobs. The mastermind, a former safety inspector who knew every weakness. It's the classic fox guarding the henhouse, except this fox cleaned out the whole farm. The audacity and precision left law enforcement baffled for years. For one night, these men pulled off the impossible, but every legend has a flaw. Alan Pace III was the key to the Dunbar heist. As Dunbar's former safety inspector, he knew every blind spot, every routine, every flaw. Fired shortly before the robbery, Pace left with detailed notes, keys, and a plan. He recruited childhood friends, ordinary guys, not career criminals. On the night of the heist, they entered with Pace's keys and waited in a surveillance dead zone. As guards arrived, they were quietly subdued and tied up. With the facility under control, the crew had free rein. The vault was no challenge for Pace. The real work was hauling millions in cash. They loaded the U-Haul for hours, methodical and disciplined. No alarms tripped, no one stumbled upon them. By sunrise, they'd vanished, leaving only terrified guards and an empty vault. The plan was simple, the execution flawless. For a moment, it looked like they'd pulled off the perfect crime. But perfection is always temporary. The clock was already ticking. For a while, it seemed Alan Pace and his crew had gotten away clean. They wore masks, destroyed tapes, and left no fingerprints. The U-Haul was wiped and abandoned. Their plan extended beyond the heist. They agreed to lay low and launder the cash slowly. Most of the money was in $20 bills, hidden in attics and storage units. They set up front companies, bought cars and houses through third parties, and tried to avoid suspicion. For a couple of years it worked. They lived quietly, secretly rich. But greed crept in. The temptation to spend was too great. Cracks appeared. Flashy purchases, loose talk, and fading discipline. The fatal mistake? Eugene Hill used a stack of original bills, still in Dunbar currency straps, for a real estate payment. That small slip was all it took. Investigators traced the bills, and suddenly the perfect crime had a lead. A single careless moment started to unravel everything. The legend of the flawless heist was about to fall apart. In the end, it wasn't the plan that failed, it was human nature. The chase was on. The break came from a stack of cash, still in its original straps, handed to police by a suspicious broker. That evidence led straight to Eugene Hill. Under pressure, Hill cracked, confessing and naming Alan Pace and the rest of the crew. The wall of silence collapsed. The FBI and LAPD rounded up the team, including Pace. Search warrants turned up stashes of cash, but most of the $18.9 million was gone. The dream of easy riches ended in handcuffs and prison sentences. Alan Pace got over 20 years. His crew, lengthy terms as well. The Dunbar heist became a cautionary tale. Even the best plans can be undone by a single mistake. The story is a lesson in ambition, secrecy, and the price of betrayal. They had the money, but never the freedom they craved. In the end, the legend was just another case file. The perfect crime was never truly perfect. The Dunbar robbery was a wake-up call for the security industry. It exposed how trust alone wasn't enough. Insiders could be the biggest threat. Security protocols changed overnight. Stricter checks, better surveillance, layered defenses. No more single points of failure. No more keys to the kingdom. Law enforcement learned to follow the money, not just the crime scene. Financial forensics became the key to cracking complex cases. The Dunbar case is now a textbook example of how greed and carelessness can topple even the smartest schemes. These stories aren't just about the thrill, they're about the flaws in our systems and ourselves. The lessons from Dunbar still shape security and investigations today. Crime may pay for a moment, but the consequences last a lifetime. If you find these stories as fascinating as I do, stick around. There are always more legends and lessons to uncover.